What's good? It's your boy CJ Goodfella back with the Boston Clinic. Shout out to the LDBC, the YTBC. We working. Don't forget we got the new tech channel popping. The link is in the description. Let you know how to cut the cost of cable. You know, get rid of Netflix. We got a few videos on there already. May drop one a day. Also, if you want to donate, you know, we got the live show kicking off very, very soon. God willing, hopefully our first show will be tomorrow. And eventually it'll turn into a radio show. Gonna have one or two guests on to talk some NFL, and Sunday we'll be back talking some boxing. Don't forget the Facebook group, it's in the description as well, with a link to the page, not the group. But Evander Holyfield is Captain Obvious. He says that Floyd Mayweather was never undisputed champion. That's the one thing that he's missing in his legacy. Said he's a great fighter, but he was never undisputed, and Holyfield prided himself on being undisputed at cruiser and heavyweight. But to me, I don't care if a fighter wasn't undisputed. You know, heavyweight division is different. Nobody remembers Holyfield for cruiserweight. But he was an excellent, one of the best cruiserweights of all time. You know, him and David Haye would have been an excellent fight in their prime if you did hypothetical legacy matchups. But nobody really remembers him for cruiserweight. But heavyweight was different. You know, there was nowhere to go but right there. So, of course, you wanted to make the best fight in the heavyweight division. You know, you had, you know, Lennox, Bo, all of them had to fight each other, Mike, you know, because it was big money involved and nobody can move up. Nobody can duck anybody other than Riddick Bowe ducking Lennox Lewis. But, you know, when you have the opportunity to start off at a small weight class and move up and beat, you know, bigger guys, you know, who cares about being undisputed? Nobody ever points out that Manny Pacquiao moved up, you know, several weight divisions but never was undisputed. You know, nobody ever points that out. You know, some people may bring it up from time to time, but it feels like a lot of these old time fighters, you know, are getting a little bit irritated by Floyd calling himself TBE. And, you know, we talking about financials and money, you know, he made more money than the heavyweights made back then. The heavyweights was the Glory Day division. And of course, you know, if you a smaller guy that started off at super featherweight, and you done generated almost $1 billion, I mean, of course you're going to be feeling yourself. You did something that smaller guys usually don't do. So I think a lot of people are getting, their feathers fluffled together because of that. But at the end of the day, I don't care. I mean, Zab Judah and Corey Spinks was welterweight undisputed, for God's sake. So what do that mean? You know, are they two of the greatest fighters of all time? Are they all-time greats in most people's eyes? Absolutely not. You know, period. Being undisputed is cool. You know, Crawford was undisputed not too long ago, well, last year to be exact, but he didn't beat any all-time great fighters on his way to being undisputed. So, you know, it doesn't mean anything, really. It means something, but it doesn't mean you can't be the best, or you're not an all-time great fighter, or it doesn't mean you are an all-time great fighter because you become undisputed, you know, because you clean out a division. Your division could be weaker than, you know, when Roy Jones in 99 became undisputed at light heavyweight. You know, it's totally different. Different airs, different strokes with different folks, you know. And him, you know, trying to go out his way to point out, oh, he wasn't undisputed, man. At the end of the day, it ain't like he said at one weight class his whole career and didn't, you know, unify the titles. He didn't do that. He moved up consistently. He moved up, he moved back down. You know, he did everything he had to do to prove his greatness. He fought all the marquee guys that he wanted to fight, you know. And when he called out, you know, Morales, and he tried to fight Barrera, and, you know, and all those other guys, nobody answered the knock on the door. It's video proof for him calling out everybody. So then when he gets the top spot, you know, then people want to start, you know, calling Floyd out. But when Floyd was calling out all them other guys all them years, nobody wanted to fight him. You know, he called out Shane Mosley. He was calling out Oscar at 30 when he was at 35. Said I'll move up from 35 to 54 to fight Oscar right now. Nobody was taking him serious, and nobody remembers him for that. You know, people remember him for picking his fights, but that people don't remember Pretty Boy. And somebody just said on my comment section a couple days ago, I remember I wish what his name was, well, everybody wants to be Money Mayweather, but nobody wants to get their hands dirty and be Pretty Boy Floyd Mayweather. And that was so correct. Everybody want to pick and choose their fights, but nobody want to go through the struggle and the blood, sweat, and tears. You know, being undisputed is cool, is a cool thing, but if you don't do it, you don't do it. Who really cares? You know, look at some of the undisputed champions of all time. They have, you know, a lot of them ain't been all-time greats. You know, and when you have the opportunity to start off at lower weight classes and you move up and you still fighting good competition or great competition, that's cool with me. I don't care if you was undisputed, you know. Who cares? You know, You know, a lot of guys tend to swerve undisputed because of the boxing politics. Not only that, the sanctioning belt bodies are taking 3% out of your purse every time. And then if you start to unify belts, they drop it to 1% and 2%. But 1%, 2%, 3% of $1 million is still a lot of money. You know, 1%, 2%, 3%, $100 million is still a lot of money. And Floyd prides himself on getting the WBC. That's the belt that he thinks is the best belt. He called it the world best champion. That's the belt that he identifies with as his undisputed championship belt. You know, and that's him. You know, it's always these old timers, you know, that want to go back to their heyday and compare eras and want to downplay guys. And it's always some BS, man. Just, you know, let him be great. You know, it's his era. Let the fans decide. You know, I mean, Holyfield was great in his own right, but you ain't got to go out your way and point and say, oh, this the. At the end of the day, we all know the obvious. But being undisputed at a lower weight class is, you know, it's not really desired like it is at heavyweight, because in heavyweight you have nowhere to go but up. It's too different. So if Deontay Wilder becomes undisputed champion, do you guys consider him all-time great and better than Floyd Mayweather? I'll wait for that answer. I'm just saying, you know, it's totally different structure, different folks. I take nothing away from Pacquiao, Mayweather, and the rest of the guys who never become undisputed. You know, too many boxing politics, not like it was 10, 20 years ago. We gone.